Art is more than just a drawing or a painting. William Morris already knew it in the 19th century. He had a vision to make everything art. So let's work with this vision and try to make some art and transform it into a hoodie design. To create my design, I first had to find some inspiration for what to draw. So I opened my iPad and went to Pinterest to find some ideas. I've always liked art that is full of detail. Take for example the dull grass from Peter Bruegel. When you look at the full painting, you probably just think that it's a beautiful painting. But the true wonders of the painting start to shine when you zoom in on the different parts. You start to see lots of different stories being told in just one painting. In this example, the stories are just completely absurd. Just take a look at this fish with the leg in his mouth. It's so random and strange. Or this wonky character with a spoon in its mouth. Those different stories and details make art extra special for me. So with the goal in mind of creating details to get lost in, I went searching. I found lots of inspiration that led me to the idea of creating one central character, which is something that I've never done before. But that's exactly why I think it would be a great idea for this design, to challenge myself to learn new ways to draw. But I still needed to finalize my idea. Therefore, I took my trusty pen and paper and started doodling. I found doodling to be the best way to get my mind working on creating ideas. When I don't need to focus on perfection and can let my brain fill the page, that's when the best ideas pop into my head. After doodling a page or two, the idea of a deer with jungle elements and its antlers came into our head. The deer could be my central character, while the jungle elements could provide the details you get lost in. So let's get the iPad and start drawing. I first started by creating the deer and giving it majestic antlers. Next up are the vines. They help add a bit of height, variation, and giving the antlers a typical luscious jungle feel. To add more color, I sketched some flowers. I'm thinking about coloring them pink to really make them pop. And let's make them pop even more by adding some smaller red vines coming out of the flowers. I'm deliberately placing them around in places where I think that they will help lead the viewer's eyes to the antlers, the main part of the drawing. The last thing I want to add are leaves. They will help take out the greenery in the antlers. I wanted some real-life examples of leaves, but because I don't live in a tropical country, I had to go to my local subtropical swimming pool. Inside the pool, I took some pictures of the most interesting leaves before heading back to try to draw them. Although the leaves are very nice, I still wanted to give them a personal spin, so I altered them a bit to fit the design and my vision. With the leaves done, I had finally finished my design and could start coloring. I used realistic colors for the deer and the leaves. In previous drawings I tried some more creative colors, but I didn't feel like it would fit this design. Therefore, I stuck with the green. I used its complementary color, red, for the flowers. I added some shadows, details and a background, and I was finished. So I was ready to make an order of the design. But then I stopped in my tracks. I felt like there was something wrong with the design. There was something just off. I loved the design, but I didn't like the end product. The drawing was fine, but I just didn't see myself wearing the design. I tried tweaking the colors, adding more or less details, but at the end I just had to admit defeat. It was very hard for me to admit that the design was just not it. I procrastinated for weeks to finish the video because I was scared to look like a failure. But then I remembered that progress isn't always easy. You don't always get the perfect design on your first try, and by procrastinating I would only make it worse. It's like every other habit. Some days you do a lot and some days you do only a little. But the important part is that you never do nothing. By delaying the video, I was doing nothing, and the worst you can do is nothing. Even if I didn't like the result, I can at least be proud of the road that took me there. I used new styles and methods that I never used before, and I learned a lot during the progress. Maybe I failed this time, but I will be back.